If you have not like and subscribe, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today I want to make a kind of video. A lot of people requested like to make a video like how I used to make stocks to watch for 2022. So I'm gonna go over 10 stocks to watch for 1022. I own most of them, and I think like all are pretty solid investment in the long run. These are not really a good setup in terms of trading or like short term, but I'm really looking for, basically these are mostly in my long term portfolio where mostly I'm just buying, right? And these are the stock I think have a lot of great potential for 2020. So yeah, uh, if you have not, don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's get it started. The number one, again, it's a random order, there's no preference or whatever, but number one is SC, right? C Limited. C Limited is one of the great ecom, which is like massive run since the COVID, right? So we basically from the April almost like 30-40 bucks, it went up to the high of almost 370, 380. Now it almost pulled back like 50%. And actually, if you look at the chart, this could be a really good time. If you look at this, right, we bounce off to this support zone on 25th March. Same thing happened on 13th May, and again on 203, right? I mean, again in December, right? Kind of it held that support perfectly, kind of bouncing off. Right now, it's kind of range bound, not really strong. One thing to note is it's below 200, right? I would like, if you are looking for trade, if you see it above 50 day, that's a really a good stat. But right now seems like this is supporting, but in the long run, one of the really great ecom, their revenue are like really great. I'm gonna go over those. A solid company fundamentally. So as you know, in the short term, stock market is irrational. It can have a great numbers, earnings, and everything, but short term it can go either. That's just the sentiment, right? But long term it will correct, right? Long term it will come to its mean, right? So short term it will just basically up down up down, but long term it will come to the plane. So here, I think it's a great opportunity right now to 20. So if you are thinking a leave for maybe 20, 23, 24, probably 200, 250, or 300 calls could be really good. But stocks will be always the safe. You don't have to worry about theta and whatnot. This is the great stuff. If you look at some fundamental, I was kind of looking over C Limited, right? So Seeking Alpha has a lot of informations, and I was kind of looking at the revenue. Look at the revenue. 16, almost 300, they were in millions, right? But 16, 17, 18, really small. But if you look at like 20, 21, almost, look at that, from 4 billion to 9 billion, all double, more than double. They just basically estimate again 21. uh, Probably they will have numbers soon, but almost double, right? And if you look at the 2022, it's not quite double, but almost 50% 50 60%. So great revenue growth, right? I mean, it's really hard to kind of double as you grow, but really doing. Same thing with the EPS, right? They are almost beating EPS every time, and kind of EPS increasing. So that's great. And you can see that earning estimate 21, 114%, 20 to 50%, 35%, really growing, right? At this stage, if they're growing at 20 plus with the 10 billion plus revenue, I would say that's really great, right? So great fundamental, and I think they are kind of quite set up right now, if you look at the chart as well. Next is coin. Coin had a massive year in 2021. 2020 they had a massive year. 21, 22. I think there's a little bit of slow. I mean, we have kind of slowed down on the crypto. Really made a cup like structure, but pulled back to down. So kind of this is a failure. But right now, really it's in the lower range, right? So really IPO really high, but it's in the lower range. But you see, seems like it's kind of held in this area pretty good. I went a little bit below, but a positive day after the gap down, really holding it. the volume is right. The one thing though, the coin is coming up with what you call NFT marketplace. NFT is huge, huge. I think most of the transactions happening in Ethereum network right now are NFTs, right? So OpenSea is kind of doing tremendous amount of money from the fee of buying and selling NFTs. And Coinbase CEO actually said NFT could be a lot bigger than that cryptocurrency. If that's the case, that's an easy double, right? So also, beside Binance, Coinbase is the most traded exchange in terms of crypto. It operates in 100 plus countries, really secure. They have not been hacked, and they also offer a lot of cryptocurrencies, right? So it's not only Bitcoin, Ethereum. I remember when I started using Coinbase, they were just doing Bitcoin, then added Ethereum in a while. So right now they have come a long way. I think they have 100 plus currencies, GDAX, and really liquid. You can pretty much buy, sell anything. Their fee is a little higher side, which is good for them. I mean, they're making a lot of money, but yep, they also, I think, gonna start depositing direct from your paycheck, so it's gonna be kind of like a bank. So a lot of good things with the coin, and right now I think it's a really good price for the long term, right? 250. I own Coinbase. Actually, I got assigned last week at 260, cause I, as you know, I sell covered calls and whatnot, and this is a Coinbase, and the numbers doesn't look that as a great. If you look at that 19, uh, again 90 was crypto winter, 20 pretty good. I think 20, 21, that's when really they did like a massive volume. It was a really good market, right? From 1 billion to, look at that, 7 billion. That's 7x, right? That's a 7x revenue. That's a huge and also a lot of the institutions are using Coinbase to, get into the crypto. And if you look at 22, the estimate is 7.2, which is a little bit down from 2021, but this is kind of expected, right? When you have a crypto cycles, 21 was the pick, so 22. But again, things could change. If we see rally in the Bitcoin, definitely people's gonna come back to the Coinbase, but they are profitable company. One of the thing is they're really profitable company, so they have been almost beating their EPS pretty good. 21 was massive rise, 22 is seems like a flat, but 23 they are expecting um, a little bit rise, right? But I think like it's really, they're profitable, they're making money, and with the NFTs and whatnot, I think they could easily double, right? So they're right now, if you look at like 7-8 billion sales, so almost 10 billions, and they are market capped probably around like 50 billion, I think. So yeah, 50-54 billion, right? So they have a lot of cash in hand, so really good numbers and everything's. Again, you won't see the growth like the other companies, but again, it all depends like how the crypto kind of 4 year cycles. If you don't know, I have a lot of videos on crypto, but a solid company. I think it's a really value right now, pretty decent price. I think the low 50-week low, if you look at, was yeah, 208. So 208, we are about like 20-30% up, but again, I think it's a good risk reward, right? So there's a lot more potential for coin. Next is apps, one of my favorite. So I've been in apps leaps like forever. I actually sold out after this big dip, which is glad I did it. I did not sold all. I sold half of my position, which was enough to kind of recover my investment, and half I'm still owning, and I have actually added few more positions too. So apps, they have a great number. They just had a partnership with the Google, multi-year partnership. The numbers are really impressive. One thing is the stock has been a range bound for a while, so which is kind of frustrating. But I think going into 2022, I definitely, if they kind of blow out some few earnings, I definitely see like they can pass this 90-95 resistance levels and go higher. So really small market cap, only 5.86 billion. And if you look at the revenue, they're impressive, very impressive. Look at this, right? Revenue almost like from 300 million in March 20. This is this is annual, right? So 138 million in 20. To look at this, right? 21 300, now 1.2, now 1.6. They're really ramping up, so they're like 4 or 5x sales. And look at that, right? EPS, they have always beaten and also increasing, right? So from 11 to 18, 20. So really great numbers. If you look at their EPS, 119%, 32%, 52%, these are estimate. But also the revenue sales is 284% in 22, then 32, 35. Really impressive growth. So I definitely think like leaves and even shares are pretty cheap, right? They're around 60. So good opportunities. So this could easily double if there's more institutions, buy out and whatnot. So so number four is UPST. Yeah, UPST. One of the, I think this is one of the stocks where I probably made the most money in this stock. I got in around this year just because of the, it was kind of really in the range bound in this area, kind of founding in support, and we had a great earning gapped up, and boom, like look at that, it literally went from 170 to 400, like more than. I had some options, and option you could imagine, right? Like option, I think I got for 3,000 or 4,000. They were like 20, 25,000 a pop. I had four or five of those, so I think I made massive. One of the greatest return, greatest trade this year was in UPST. Great stock overall, but as with the market, we are kind of pulling back. Uh, so is it holding this trend line? Looks like. Yeah. Still below 200-day moving average, but I think it has great risk reward potentials right now. They are in their numbers are really great as well. So one thing is I want to see it above, a little bit above 200 to maybe uh, for its the full potential, which is right now around 188, probably soon, but I still own right now. I have in my long-term portfolio, and I definitely believe in this company. And if you look at their numbers, crazy numbers, right? Look at their this is annual, yeah, almost 800. 22 is 1.17 billion. That's an estimate. This is also estimate. 2020 there. Look at that. From 2020 to 21 is almost 242, so almost 300%, right? 210%. Then they're still growing crazily. Same with the earning per shares. You can look at the EPS, like 748% in 21, 20 to 2020, kind of, and same with the sales, 245, 44, 44. If they kind of beat like this will kind of go ham and probably gonna do really well. So this is the another one. Now, one thing is, as we know, right, there's always China kind of delisting and whatnot, but we cannot ignore Neo, and I think I had Baba as well. Neo, right? Neo really one of the, with the Tesla, right? Like really range bound in this one for multiple years and really broke out in 2020. Um, from $10 and literally went to 60 or 70, right? 60, yeah, almost 70. Now it has been really in the downtrend. If you look at that, right? Really downtrend so far. Okay, really downtrend so far, but this has been holding this level, right? I think I have made multiple video where 20 to 30 is a pretty good price. So this is kind of holding this level pretty well, and right now at 32. But I think Neo, if you see their numbers are, they are still, right, like 40, 50 billion dollar in valuation. So if you look at Tesla, almost a trillion. So if they, and they are increasing their numbers, right? I think they did just well over 100,000 vehicle this year. So if they could do 300, 400, I could easily see this kind of going to all-time high and even breaking, right? So Neo is doing tremendous numbers. The risk with the China is delisting of the US, which I highly doubt gonna happen. But you never know, right? With the China, so that's one thing. The other thing is, unlike other tech company, Chinese government support EVs and clean cars, so that's something good for them. Also, they help them bail out in 2019 when they were having the financial issues. But New is another great stock. Their numbers are also great. We can probably just check it out right here. You can see that the revenue really right 2020 2.36. I think they're like 4 or 5 billion this year. It's still not profitable, but they are expanding, right? Just like a Tesla, right? But once they start being profitable, I think it could be a really good for Neo. Now let's look into Baba. Baba is easy 300 and $400 stocks, but just got the Chinese government, it has been really range bound. But if you look at this, right, so this is like 2016 top, right? This is which was a resistance, and right now really acting as a support. So let's see if it does not hold. I definitely see it's 80, 87, 89. There's a really strong multiple, so I really don't think it's going below this one. But yeah, anything above this would be good. But I think it's a really good opportunity, especially shares if you get in, right. This is easy 300 stocks, so you have almost 300% in your shares in couple of years. I think if things go, they are increasing. There's now, look at this, right, like their revenue 23, 37, 57, 73, 105, right. Easy there, like Amazon of the, not only China, Amazon of the world. Like most of the trade things, whatever you see in Amazon comes from Alibaba, right? People buying, so they are the main source. So really doing the great number. It's just the stock is not really cooperating, but I think it has a great potential for this year and next year ahead. So now, okay, Roku. Same thing with the Roku. Really, we hit a double top at like almost $500 right now, more than half off. It has really kind of trying to breeze this 240 level. I think that would be really good. Once it goes that, I can see 258 and 300 almost. I think it's gonna come eventually. I mean, nobody knows. Just it may be range on for a while, but this is good. It's kind of probably accumulation zones. Institutions are accumulating, so this is the another one I think gonna be really good in this year. So Roku. So now I have, okay. This is one of the stocks which went through the SPAC and really had it was also kind of ready target, and it hit multiple times 24. Right now is kind of 13.4 in this range. So this is like finding a good support as well, not only fundamentally but really good support around. So we are right now in the support area. So really good setup. And if you look at that, kind of resistance, but even just to get there, right, 15 to 24, 25, almost 100%, which probably gonna see this year itself, right. So SoFi, I'm actually selling puts there. I sold 2 or 5, I forgot, but sold puts. So I'm just selling puts. If I get assigned grid, I want to know. If not, I'll collect some premium. So that's what I'm doing with the SoFi. Then I have Airbnb. So Airbnb had changed the whole hotel industry, right? Like whenever I travel, I try to use Airbnb as much as possible. I love it. You could get, sometimes you meet great people, so it's really awesome, and it is above 200 days, so which is a good sign. And earnings coming up, but really this has been range bound from like 220s to, I mean, 120 to 220. We are right at the middle, right? 160, 170. So I think definitely coming to this year, Airbnb probably gonna do really good. And last but not the least, right around, there's a massive gap on the downside which it did not fill. But really, I think this is really, lot of companies. Facebook changed their name to Metaverse, right? So I think Roblox is doing really great in terms of those things. And there's revenues and everything is doing really great. You look at that, right? Almost $1 billion revenue. um, quite high valuations right now. Right now at 57. But again, I think as long as they keep growing, they're growing pretty massively. So as long as they keep growing, I think it justifies. And the price is right now, I think it's pretty good price right now. Not really the IPO price of 60 or 70, right? 60, I think it went up to 674, but pretty close, 20-30% from up, but really discount from the all-time high of almost 138. So this one is another one I'm watching. Most of these are not really set up to buy right now, but something to really watch into 2021. And I think once we start a really good bull market like this will really fly, that's when you want to trade and whatnot. But if you're thinking of long term, this could be a solid list. But again, do your own DD. These are just my suggestions. That what I think doesn't mean like this will surely go up or they go down. So yeah, but these are something I'm watching going into 2022. Thanks for listening to me. And if you have any question or comment, let me know. And yeah, thank you very much and have a great rest of the new year. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.